So the things that increase the amount of vitamin D that's in your, increase the expression of the VDR genes, meaning they're making more of these entry points for vitamin D to get into your cell. There's very few that actually do that. And the main one is sulforaphane, which is a specialized broccoli sprout extract. And it's not as easy as simply just going and getting broccoli sprouts, because there's about 300 different varieties of broccoli, and not all broccoli sprouts create the same enzyme and substrate combination in the right ratios to make sulforaphane. So the main thing, it gets complicated. Basically, sulforaphane is, it's one of the most important nutrients in genetics that's out there, because it helps with so many of the most important genes, especially the VDR genes. That sulforaphane is a combination of two things, miracinase and glucoraphanin. And miracinase is the enzyme, glucoraphanin is the substrate. And then when they're combined, then a specific ratio, then you get sulforaphane. Like they combine together, and glucoraphanin converts into sulforaphane. Sulforaphane is a mild pro-oxidant. And it sounds weird. Why would a pro-oxidant be healthy? Well, it's kind of like exercise. Exercise is actually a pro-oxidant, in that it stresses the body in a specific way, and then the reaction to that negative input is a net positive by a meaningful degree. So when you have sulforaphane, the cells, it's a pro-oxidant, the cells feel like it's under attack in a mild way, and so then inside the city it mobilizes all of these things. Like it mobilizes free radical scavenging enzymes, it mobilizes anti-inflammatory enzymes, or it means mobilizing these genes rather, that then make these enzymes. So, and it also mobilizes the vitamin D receptor genes, because it's wanting the cell to suck in more vitamin D in anticipation of this pro-oxidant getting to the cell. So it's kind of like, my favorite metaphor is, if you ever study medieval history and the Visigoths are at the gates, it's like if you had caught a Visigoth scout, and it's like, oh no, then this whole city's like, oh wait, there's an army coming, we got to prepare and mobilize the whole city. So that's the importance, that's basically what sulforaphane does. It's kind of like a scout that the cell interprets as like a bigger wave is coming forward. So it has this disproportionate response to mobilize these anti-inflammatory, anti-free radicals, and pro-vitamin D utilization genes. So that's sulforaphane. I do recommend you only go to the practitioner level brands. There's a lot of labeling weirdness amongst the non-practitioner only brands. You really want to go with a practitioner level product to make sure you're getting the right stuff with the right ratios. It's hard to get stabilized sulforaphane because it's a fragile molecule. Instead, you're going to want to get the products that have the right ratios of miracinase to glucoraphanin. And I know I'm using a lot of kind of jargon here, but it's just the way of it. There's not that many molecules that actually upregulate the expression of vitamin D receptors to make more of them, so you can use vitamin D better. The other thing that affects vitamin D receptors is smoking. So first-hand smoke, second-hand smoke, third-hand smoke, and pollution all downregulate vitamin D receptors. So you need to make sure that you're in a smoke-free environment if you've got issues around this gene, and you need to try to keep your breathing space as free of pollution as possible. If you need air purifiers, there's definitely a lot of different high-quality air purifiers that are out there. Availability varies based on your country, but if you are in if your house environment is polluted, and it can be, with off-gassing of paint and carpet or furniture or mattresses, or just stuff coming in through the windows, or there's you live in a house that has smokers or that had smokers, or whatever it might be, you may want to seriously consider investing in air purifier. And I'll leave some links to ones that I recommend. But if you're dealing with, if you're having kind of concerns around your ability to use vitamin D and you're exposed to air pollution of whatever type, definitely look into some air filtration. The other thing I would say about vitamin D is that there's other fat-soluble vitamins that are best kind of taken along with it. The best source, if you're going to take vitamin D, make sure that you're either having vitamin K bundled with, if you're going to take vitamin D directly as a supplement, you're going to want to take it either with vitamin K, or you're going to want to take it during the course of the day. You have green vegetables that have vitamin K in it, because without vitamin K, the vitamin D will direct calcium to deposit in other tissues aside from bone, and you want to make sure that those calcium deposits stay in, that go into bone and not other tissues. So that's the overview of the vitamin D, and there's a lot that's involved with this tiny molecule.